people don't want to pay their respects. I just think most didn't know that's when it was.
Gang rose to power just ahead of the Army's bloody suppression of the 1989 pro-democracy movement centered on Beijing's Tiananmen Square. Townhall.com. This Confederate monument may not meet the same fate as so many others across the South.
A county board in Virginia is moving ahead with plans to deed the public land under a Confederate statue on the historic courthouse green to a private preservation group to prevent the statue from being taken down in the future. The Washington Post reports the Matthews County Board of Supervisors has called a special public hearing for Tuesday night. It was unclear whether a final vote is also planned for Tuesday. However, the board has already drafted a deed and voted to waive county subdivision rules to allow it to carve out a plot of public land under the statue. John Scott reports.
NASA's Orion capsule on its way home from the moon to wrap up a 3-week test flight. The capsule and its test dummies came within 80 miles of the far side of the moon yesterday. Once emerging from behind the moon, the capsule flew over a couple of Apollo landing sites. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Slight chance for scattered showers this afternoon, otherwise cloudy. Highs around 46, northeasterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance for scattered rain showers tonight, lows dip down to about 37, overcast skies. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 49. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 40. Despite supply chain issues, owner Dave Jackson's great team of employees at your Clinton Save-A-Lot are working to keep their shelves stocked to save you up to 40% every day. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Peterson Insurance Services in Clinton is the 2014 Pekin Insurance Illinois Agency of the Year. Jay Peterson here from Peterson Insurance. Find out about Pekin's auto, home, or life insurance by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Are you a friend of agriculture? This is Scott Bob from Bob Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. We're giving a $500 Friends of Ag discount to anyone that orders a new Chevrolet or Buick to be built just for you this month. Are you a friend of ag? You are if you're a member of any ag organization employed by any ag-related business, including research, inputs, manufacturing, sales, and marketing, and of course, ag education. Come in, order yours today. BobChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
Been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Weber gas grill, a Traeger wood pellet grill, or a Big Green Egg charcoal grill. Only at your neighborhood Ace. Around the block. What you need in stock. With people who know their grills.
This is Brad from Gibson Ace Hardware in Clinton, Illinois. Stop in to see us, The Helpful Place, at 114 North Madison Street, Clinton.
See participating store for details.
The most stressful part about being a farmer is the uncertainty of everything. Knowing where your margins are, knowing where you need to be able to be profitable, to continue on for years to come.
You have to make the numbers work, but commodity fertilizer blends don't add up. They don't offer the larger profit potential that Micro Essentials does, with higher yields annually proven over 15 years. Micro Essentials from Mosaic, the science of more.
The WHOW Morning Show is now video streamed live on the WHOW WEZC DeWittDailyNews.com Facebook page and on the new WHOW TV YouTube channel. Watch morning show host Seth Lawrence interview guests live, as well as watch archived video podcasts of any interview you missed. Whether on Facebook or YouTube, we're providing 2 more ways that Central Illinois' local news station, WHOW, delivers compelling content for you.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. My guests in studio here this morning, Samantha Rusk and Corey Campbell with the Warner Library. Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Good morning.
Great. Morning. Happy holidays. Thanks for coming out and talking with us. And Corey, do you have the children's floor looking very festive these days?
We do. We've got our board that we have everyone contribute to every month. This month we have it so that anyone can come up and draw a snowman to help line our street. And it's already just a couple days into December, looking incredibly full.
Yeah, I bet the kids enjoy like the holiday season at the library.
Oh yeah, I think we try to have lots of different holiday books and offerings out, and we try to make sure we do something that makes it feel like nice and warm and cozy, just so that people will feel comfortable coming to the library and making the space feel like home a little bit.
Sure. What is like a popular kids Christmas book?
Oh man. Well, I was just looking through the other day and I noticed that we had, I think, 4 copies of the Polar Express.
Yeah.
Which is that classic kind of go-to. I was actually pulling a lot of books the other day to put onto our holiday display, and we've got the Grinch and we've got the Polar Express, but we also have some really fun new titles on. We've got one that's on Passover, and we've got a couple of great newer titles from the last year or two about Hanukkah. So we're trying to make sure that we represent all of the winter holidays, because I think you get a little overshadowed by Christmas, but there's a ton of different celebrations happening this month.
Yeah, no question about it. So with that said, guys, we're going to highlight the year that was for 2022. So Samantha, let's start with you. What was 2022 like at the library?
Sure. So I think this was, of course, a big year for us in coming out and becoming more, I guess everything felt just a little bit more normal, which I feel like we just said that over and over and over again, but it's true. And looking at the library in different ways, because after the pandemic now, people are using the library differently than they did in the past. And that's a great thing. We were just talking about the reasons people visit the library just before we got on air here with you, and talking about how, we've got toys and different things going on. You can come to the library and you don't have to check out a book. You don't have to check out a movie. There are so many other things to do. So being able to highlight a lot of that and bring in things that people are really asking for, I think is what's been the best part of the year.
You talk about people utilizing the library differently. So what did that look like this year?
Sure. So I think a lot of the things that people are coming back and doing more, sitting and enjoying themselves, especially like some of those new things we brought, like the local history section that's brand new over the next to where we have the newspapers and magazines now. So it's a place where people can gather, do local history research, read the newspaper for the day, have a conversation with somebody else. So we're finding that a lot of library visitors are finding their comfort in the library again, whereas there for a long time it was zip in, get your stuff, and zip back out. So that's been really nice to see.
Sure. Very good. Well, among programs, things that you did this year, what were some of the highlights there?
Sure. So, of course, events for all ages. We love everything that we do. Always looking at monthly events for all ages that are always free and open to the public, focus on crafts and history or education or cooking. Of course, we have those tried and true events that we do every single year. We're getting ready to gear back up for AARP Tax Aid, probably coming back in February or so. Keep an ear out for that. Of course, annual Halloween trick-or-treating events and summer reading. And we are in the middle of it right now, which is one of my favorites, which is 12 Days of Crafts, where people can drop in the library every single day that we're open for 2 entire weeks and make a different craft each day. So if you haven't started that, I highly encourage you to stop by the library and make a craft. All ages, so from young to old, they can all participate.
Very good. So with that said, Samantha, anything else you want to highlight from the year that was in 2022?
I think a big part of this too that Corey and I were kind of talking about is getting outside the library a little bit too, and establishing a lot of those connections that we have in the past. So, of course, working with C.H. Moore Homestead and the DeWitt County Museum, we were thrilled to work with them this summer on the Prairie Flyers exhibit by being the host site for the speakers that they had, which that was an awesome sight to see, and that exhibit that they had out there was incredible. We've also recently partnered with them. We've got some staff that have decorated the Prairie Room inside the museum for their candlelight tours. So a great way to just connect with other local organizations. Doing a lot, and of course, acting with the Clinton, Illinois Chamber as well. So taking part in the Christmas parade by having crafts after the parade, or attending the business expo, and all of those things that are just purely Clinton and DeWitt County.
Sure. Any other ways you gave back this year you want to highlight?
So I think a couple of the other things that were exciting, we're working with EMC Photography. We did that a couple of times. They visited us on Halloween during trick-or-treating, and did those annual portraits of kiddos in their costumes. But then also back in March, we had the Changing Perspectives exhibit. So all of that aerial photography, that was really neat as well.
Cool.
So, and the list goes on and on and on. I'm sure Corey will touch on even more as well.
Yeah, sure.
Really exciting.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, I was going to transition us to talk about what's ahead in 2023, but instead I'll turn to Corey and say, Corey, what was of highlight for you on the children's side from 2022?
Oh, wow. It was an incredible year for the children's floor. At least from my perspective, it was, because it was great. We finally are starting to see families coming in, now that people are starting to feel a little more comfortable going out in public and spending time in places, like Samantha said. So it's been really, really wonderful to finally get to know more and more people in our community, and meet some of the littlest members of our community too. Of course, summer reading was a huge highlight for my year. I think we had an incredible turnout for summer reading, and we're hoping to keep that momentum going into next year and beyond, and create lots of lifelong readers.
Sure. When it really, that was kind of your first normal, in full fledged, I guess, reading club, right?
Yeah, it's been interesting because I started right in the middle of the summer of 2020 at the library.
Right.
So there's been no normal for me, which has been an interesting challenge as we've moved through the years. But I think we're finally starting to figure out what that foundation is going to look like, and being able to build something on that a little more consistently as we move into whatever normal is going to be in 2023 and beyond.
Going forward, for sure. Absolutely. Well, and so Corey, again, highlights from 2022 for you. I mean, anything else come to mind as it relates to this year?
Yeah, I think 2022 has given me a great opportunity to, again, like Samantha said, work with some really amazing members of our community and organizations that we, because of the pandemic, hadn't been able to keep a partnership going consistently with. So I've been able to actually get back out, and I've been working with the Clinton School District a ton this year. So I've been able to get out and actually reach students at the school through assemblies and story times for some of the younger grades. And going in and having a library presence at some of their annual kind of holiday celebrations, like Harvest Day or Earth Day. I've also been working a lot with DeWitt County 4-H, working with the vault on the square, and lots more kind of coming. We're just not quite ready to talk about yet, but there's always more behind the scenes than we can talk about at the moment.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm curious from your perspective, Corey, are you becoming more familiar, comfortable in the Clinton community now that you've been here a couple of years? And I was thinking about this, and maybe I'm totally off base, but I think one thing the library has going for it is continuity in the staff. You don't see new faces every time you're there. It's the same people, day in, day out, visit in, visit out for folks. And I think that's a great thing. So how, from your perspective, Corey, are you feeling comfortable in Clinton? How would you describe that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Clinton's a great community. And I think that you'll find that in most smaller communities that they're more tight knit, and it's really been a pleasure to get to know so many people out in our community. I describe starting in the middle of 2020 as both a blessing and a curse, because it let me ease into what we were doing, and it helped me focus on keeping the library going in uncertain times. But it also prevented me from being able to meet so many of the people in our community, and part of what makes my job really wonderful is being able to connect with those people. So it's been really great to keep the library going, but also be able to engage more with the community and become more of a part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's really rewarding to be recognized by kids in the community.
Definitely. Friends, anything I missed today you want to talk about as it relates to 2022 that I didn't touch on or you didn't touch on? Corey, Sam, anything from your perspective?
I do actually have, just for a couple of quick numbers, if you would like some by the numbers. So far in 2022, so not counting any December yet, we have had 36,000 people visit the library. We have 6,900 library card holders with room for so many more, of course. We are just shy of 3,000 followers on our social media channels. We've seen 85,400 checkouts of materials, and we have answered 3,700 reference questions at the library so far this year.
That's great.
So, of course, we always want to look at those numbers and increase them as we go, but it's been really great interacting with everybody in the community this year.
That library card holder number, like, I think about that is a tremendous number. I mean, considering like the county's almost 10, 12,000 ish people, and I don't think you serve the whole county, right?
We don't. So our district has capacity to serve right around 10,000. So we're about 70% of the people who are eligible for a library card have one.
That's
which
amazing.
Is really great.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. Is that like? I feel like that's amazing. I don't know why. That's really solid.
We really like that number. But of course, if you don't have a library card and you live in the library district, come visit us. Bring your ID. It's completely free. We'll get you taken care of.
Very good. How do they do that, by the way?
All they need is a ID with your current address on it, or a piece of mail if you're at a new address you've just moved. Bring that in. It takes about 10 minutes or so. We can get most of it taken care of while you're browsing.
Very good.
Yep.
Easy enough. And how do folks learn more about the library?
Of course, come visit us. So we are at 310 North Quincy Street in Clinton. You can find us online at vwarner.org. Give us a call at 217-935-5174 and find us on all of those social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.
Fabulous. Samantha Russ, Corey Campbell, the Warner Library in Clinton, our guests in studio. More to come with them on the morning show.
WHOW.
Here's owner Dave Jackson from your Clinton Save a Lot on how inflation is affecting all of us.
I peg the inflation rate on groceries at 20, not 8.
20%.
20 at least. And that is just a massive, that's, tenfold what it was back. You have to go back to the 70s. So this is the worst inflation in my lifetime. They say since 1980. I'm going to go back farther than that.
Despite that, Dave still provides you selection and savings at your Clinton Save a Lot. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hope to see you soon.
Life is uncertain. Stop in and see me, State Farm Agent Jason France, on the west side of the Clinton Square, or click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and see how our full lineup of State Farm insurance and financial services can help protect your family.
Local farm broadcaster Jared White covers the local agriculture news you need to know. Hear his reports by downloading the free WHOW mobile app.
It's no secret that employers are having a difficult time hiring qualified personnel, whether full or part-time. The Miller Media Group wants to help you, the employer, to find the candidates you're looking for. That's why we've created IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. This website is part of a broad radio and internet employment campaign available through the Miller Media Group. Contact your account manager or email sales at randyradio.com for more information. IllinoisJobPost.com is where we put the power of radio and the internet to attract prospective candidates.
Warner Hospital providing ENT health and otolaryngology services to DeWitt County with Gibson Area Hospital and Dr. Jonathan Glickstein. Your ENT health is important, and Dr. Glickstein is an experienced otolaryngologist specializing in ear, nose, and throat conditions and head and neck surgery, dedicated to excellence in patient care for the best ENT services. Now seeing patients at the Warner Specialty Clinic in Clinton. To book your appointment in Clinton, call 217-784-2808.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Samantha Rusk and Corey Campbell with the Warner Library in Clinton, my guests in studio. Let's talk 2023, guys, and not to lay out everything that's coming up in the year ahead, but some highlights, some things that you're excited about, Samantha.
Of course. So yeah, we have a lot of those, of course, favorite things that we're already in the planning stages for. We just started talking with the RSVP volunteers here in town that operate the AARP tax aid each year. I don't have any starting dates or anything like that quite yet. So as soon as we do, we'll announce that to the public in every way possible to make sure everybody can get access to appointments that would like them. One of the things that I am so excited about, and I don't think we've actually announced to the public yet, so this is first, is that we are going to do a winter reading program in 2023. So starting January 9th, we're going to have winter reading. So similar to summer reading, where you will have a reading goal, all ages, so not just for kids, the grown-ups too, to accomplish in about 5 or 6 weeks. And once you do that, you can turn your paperwork back in for a prize. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, I know the summer reading club's very successful, but I feel like the winter reading club is just perfect. Everybody's they're home. We're probably not going anywhere because if we've got kids, they're going to school, and those sorts of things. So everybody's already here. Let's give them something to do during that. I feel like that January to like April, it's just so quiet. There's not a lot of things going on. So it's perfect.
Yes, we're really excited about it. This is something we've been talking about for a couple of years, actually, and finally realized that it was definitely a priority and something that we need. We've heard from a lot of library visitors that they'd really like something like this. So listening to them and making this a reality.
Well, I look forward to our next visit where we just lay it all out.
Of course.
Give it to everybody. Very good. So what else is coming up in 23 that you're excited about, Sam?
Actually, I'll throw this one over to Corey, if that's all right.
Please do.
I'll let him talk about the children's floor stuff and maybe a little bit of summer reading hints and teasers.
All right.
Well.
I would love to. So like Samantha said, the children's floor is going to be undergoing a pretty big change come the beginning of the year. So we're aiming for January. And the idea is that we're going to revamp the layout of the children's floor. I think we were just talking about this a couple days ago that the children's floor, since the addition was built onto the library, has remained the same. And we've noticed the way people are using it just isn't quite matching up with how the space is laid out. So we're adjusting it and flip-flopping some things. And you may notice the next time you come to the library, if it's a little later than now, we don't judge. It's okay. That your favorite books or your things that you're looking for may be in a different spot. We are always more than happy to point people in the right direction, though. So we hope that people will appreciate the new change and get used to it pretty quick. We're really excited.
Awesome. I don't want to ask too many questions that are out of bounds, but will you have to like close down the floor as you make these adjustments? What will that kind of not timeline, but what will that process look like in terms of access?
Sure. We are limiting access as little as we possibly can. We will probably have an afternoon and a day or so where the children's floor will be closed to the public.
Okay.
So if people need items from upstairs, of course, we can always search through and grab the right stuff for you. So please don't panic if you can't go upstairs. But yeah, we're aiming for that Martin Luther King weekend in January, so that we're taking that long weekend and trying to use it to the best of our ability. in order to keep that access open
Okay.
and keep people freely able to come up to the children's floor.
Gotcha.
But like you said, we will have to close it for just a little bit,
All right.
just for safety reasons.
Well, I look forward to kind of what that looks like and what you have to tell us come January as well. So we'll look forward to those conversations. And I can't believe it, guys. We're down to our last kind of 90 seconds. Sam, I know you wanted to highlight just things that we don't always talk about within the library. Quickly, I know I don't give you much time on this. Maybe we can do it another time. How about just some of the things that don't get highlighted very often at the library?
Of course. So, of course, reminders that it's not just books and movies. So we circulate so many different things, from Kindle e-readers to board games to our entire library of things. So lawn games and tools and karaoke machines and telescopes and garden tools, puzzles, audiobooks. We have, of course, the digital library, which I feel like we talk about a lot, but can never not talk about it enough.
Right.
And then, of course, those services, reminders that we have free notary service at the library. We have home delivery for those who are homebound as well, and tech appointments. So if you get those e-readers or tablets for the holidays as a gift and not quite sure how to set those up or get an email started or get the digital library on there, you can call the library and we'll get you set up with a tech appointment to get started.
Easy enough. So a lot of things happening that folks can take advantage of at the library. Samantha, how do folks, one, visit or find more information on the World Wide Web and the social media world?
Sure. So find us at the library at 310 North Quincy Street in Clinton. Give us a call at 217-935-5174. Find us online at vwarner.org and on all of the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.
Very good. Guys, thanks so much for coming out this morning. Samantha Rusk and Corey Campbell with Warner Library in Clinton, our guest in studio. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.
WHOW.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. The